his belt, you know, and he says, "I told you I didn't love you." And that's the end of the scene.
Right.
Big contrast, huge contrast.
Whiplash for the audience members, but a great way to show Raiden.
He was down bad.
Easily,
down bad.
he was down bad. He was
bricked up. He was down bad.
You have to be bricked up for this?
Bricked up, down bad. All these terms come full circle. And the key part of that scene actually is she does have HIV, and now he in turn will get it. So that's not displayed in that particular scene.
Yeah.
So then we made it to finals. So now it's down to the final 16 people in our region. And this is like, we're in uncharted territory. Can we be one of the 2 winners to ever make it out of this region and go to Washington, D.C.?
Midwest.
Well, for our school, the entire Midwest.
Wow.
And so, because 2 people go from each region. And it was like, okay, this is it. And we drew numbers on which order we got to go in.
Yeah.
And I drew 15 out of 16, which I loved. I was like,
You get to watch.
I don't watch anything, but I want to be near the end because I know that those scenes that we do are so powerful.
It leaves an impact. Yeah.
Very much. And the monologue, so we start the thing. And I actually was so confident that I slept for about 40 minutes during the first round. So I was just like, calm down, rest. And my partner, poor Callie, was just
Sweating,
terrified. So I'll never forget it though, man. We went out there. And it was in Kansas, actually. The regional that year. It was in KU, so it was my own backyard. I had a chance to defend home turf. We walk out there, and there's 2,000 people in the auditorium. And they've heard rumors of I heard about this scene, so it gets dead silent. And that's already extremely exciting. So you're like...
Everyone's anticipating.
Oh, man. It was so... You could feel the place just ready to go. So I was terrified, but you got to own it. So I said, hello, my name is Peter. This is my partner, Calliant. We'll be doing 3 pieces for you today. And inside, I'm all bricked up. I'm so down bad.
You're emotionally bricked up.
Which you do then in the finals, you perform 3 scenes.
We have to do the comic. It's a 6 minute,
Wow.
and it's ruthlessly timed. If you go over time, somebody will put their hand up at 15 seconds, and then they'll stand up and say, finish. And if you go over time, you're disqualified.
Oh, shit.
So this is where, thank you for, it's like you're helping me tell this.
Well, I'm trying to visualize so I can get
But
my
this
head.
It'd be awkward if they shout finish at like the second scene.
I know.
I presume that's to make sure, because obviously if you were to... obviously timing is a huge part of acting, and being on cue and on time is important.
Yeah.
So I'm guessing that's why, right?
There was one problem though we didn't realize was the comedic scene was so funny with 2,000 people. They had to pause for laughter.
Oh.
So I think they actually give you a 10-second grace period. So like whatever. But so like we do the first scene, it kills. People are going crazy with laughter. There's already like tons of cheering, and then we got to put that behind us, and we have to do that really serious scene. Yo, my God, dude, when that dude, you could not hear anything during that scene. Dead silent. One guy in the back was like, and it was dead. And then I had like friends and family watching, and they didn't know I was going to do this scene where I'm like, and it's just, but it's fine because it's theater. And then we did a monologue, and I know that Callie went off stage, and I had to do it was a really great play called Recent Tragic Events, about 9/11. And it was a great monologue. It was.
Wait, you didn't know?
It's a good play though. It's a really powerful play about
American thing ever.
Yeah.
It was still relatively topical back.
right.
It was like within 10 years of this.
Well, you said 2003, right?
No, this was 5 years of me doing it. This must have been 2008 or 9 or something like that.
Yeah, still
Okay.
relevant.
Yeah.
For
So,
sure.
and that play, I played the neighbor of someone as we were at an apartment. We're watching the events unfold,
Right.
and her sister happens to be in the tower. Or was she okay? And
Yeah.
it's just like a 2-hour look into that moment of time.
Yeah.
But this character was really funny, very quirky. It towed the line between serious and comedic. Right. And I remember I was kind of kneeling down, telling this end of the story, and I saw the person stand up, and I was like, we're out of time. But I still took that one extra second. I'll never forget it my entire life. I stood up, and I got to see the entire audience, and it looked like some weird watercoloring because it was just all these images and faces. And when I got to say, before I could finish the words thank you, the place went ballistic. Just insane clapping.
Right.
Theater programs it was like some sort of ridiculous thing.
Yeah.
And whether I knew if I won or lost, it was irrelevant. I felt so satisfied after all these years of training that we had a moment that meant something to someone else, which is the whole point of theater. And so it was pretty exciting. And then when we found out, we ended up winning first place on that competition. We got to go to the Kennedy Center. We got to perform on the stage, and I got a nice cash prize for best comedic scene of there's the one that we'd written. And that money went straight to me coming to Japan.
Oh, hell yeah.
Did you end up winning in...
we did not get the first place. Tragically, this is actually point of contention. This is really embarrassing. It is pretty, I don't hold them accountable, but it's really embarrassing that this happened.
Yeah.
During our second scene where the phone goes off, we had rigged it already so that someone would call. The stage manager for the Kennedy Center, who's not actually doing anything, they were just watching, their phone went off during our scene. Like audibly.
Shit.
And so I think I reached for the phone before the moment, and Callie kind of rushed. Well, she didn't do anything wrong, but like she moved on to what I was doing, and then we kind of like corrected it, and then it was like, wait, that wasn't. And then my phone went off when it was supposed to, and you're like, and as a stage manager, you're kind of like, you really should have had that on.
You're the last guy on earth.
You really should not have that on. But
You fucked up.
Yep. So other than that, I took those things that I learned, and I taught drama in high schools here. I've been in some various funny, different comedic things for Japanese media, working for NHK, similar to you did BBC. So it's always been a through line of like my life and my career was doing theater, all from those radio bastards who told me I was
That was
worthless.
the origin
Well,
story.
often a shit experience is a bigger motivator than a good one, I find.
Yep. So there you go.
For sure.
I think
Your
we're-
life is an anime.
Wow.
Yeah, it's crazy.
We're just going through all like the canon events in your life.
I do have
Add
one,
that to the wiki.
one brief one that sucked really bad when I told you
Okay.
failure. It's a quick one. There was ESPN is a pretty big sports network.
You told me this
It's
story.
so
This is
shit
such a funny
fucking
story.
dumb. And I was like, it was right after I'd been fired from the radio station, and they came to our town to interview anybody who, it was the first like reality TV show during like Survivor season 1 was still on, you know, and it was Dream Job where you could win a job as a host for Sports Center for a year. And I was like, dude, that's so sick. And my acting coach was like, yeah, go and fucking do it. What are they going to do? Z95.7 you? And I was like, yeah, you're right. I can go and do it. So I wore like my nicest suit. And I always looked kind of wild anyway with my messy hair. And like, I always stuck out in a way. So we're in line for there's like 300 people. And they have this camera crew coming along. And they stopped at me and they said, hey, you look pretty interesting. What's your deal? And I was like, oh, I'm a theater student at the university. And they're like, oh, whoa, got any theater you can show us? And I was like, never say no, don't be afraid of failure. And I was like, yeah, I do, but it's not, it's a really, it's a serious piece. Like, go ahead and show it. It was like really serious. It was like my dad like abused me and now I'm like,
So this is a sports center?
I was like, but I did the monologue as best as I could. And I remember one of the lines in the monologue is what the hell do you think you're doing? Is one of the lines.
Yeah.
And I remember it was a camera like that with like this enormous camera.
Yeah.
And I could, as I'm doing the monologue, I see like the cameraman look like, should we just cut this guy? What's going on? And worst monologue, I was like, what the hell do you think you're doing? and they were like dead silent, not the eruption that we got years later.
Yeah.
And they were like, thank you so much for your monologue. That was really good. Good luck inside. I was like, thank you. And then the guy next to me, I was like, that did not feel good. He was like, it's not good. Better you than me. And I was like, okay. And then I was like, I didn't get invited to Bristol, Connecticut. I did not get invited to be a part of Sports Center. So I felt like, okay, at least I can live with the fact that I tried. I turn on the first episode and they're like, welcome to ESPN, Dream Job, thousands applied. And it shows all these people who are being honored.
no.
And they said, let's take a look at the people who didn't make the cut. And I was like, please don't do this. Please don't do this. And it has like all these different people. And then one person does like a shitty job. And then right after it zooms in on my fat face going, what the hell do you think you're doing? and then I got like 10 phone calls. I saw you on Sports. And I was like, oh my God. So somewhere out there in some dark, dank closet, there's a tape of me, a full video of that horrible monologue.
We'll never get it.
Lost
We'll
media.
never-
Lost media.
Thank God. But yeah, that's when you take willing to fail too far.
At least when you were asked, you didn't do the.
When you said it was a dark monologue, I was like, where we go?
Can I use you for like 1 second? And then
My dad abused me while auditioning for Sports Center, which is not the play I imagine.
I should have just improvised anything other than
Literally
that.
anything.
Literally
Oh,
anything.
that was
But
a
the
risky
highs and
move,
lows.
let's see if it pans out.
You live and learn. So, but these stories in the moment they felt fucking horrible. But when you look back on them now,
Those are great stories.
That's a
Yeah.
learning experience and also great
You have to
stories.
accept the dumber aspects of one's life, I think,
100%.
Everyone
are
grows
very
up with
satisfying.
painful stories about themselves,
Absolutely.
It's completely all right.
Yep.
Holy shit.
Some wins and some losses.
I worked at McDonald's at the time. That was just one big loss.
I didn't even get that job.
Oh, that's right. You applied and you got turned down by
Yep.
McDonald's.
And my dad thought I was going to be unemployed for the rest of my life.
And here you are.
And he was
Yeah.
right.
He's kind of right. Yeah, he's kind of especially right.
Basically the same.
Nailed it. So,
Nailed it.
Yep.
But yeah, thanks for coming out, Pete.
Yeah,
No,
how long
it's
have
my
we been
pleasure.
doing for? 2 hours? All right.
Yeah.
Yeah, thanks for coming out, Pete.
It's
Yeah.
honestly
Always
a
great
pleasure.
having you on.
Always a pleasure.
Thank you so much.
Thank you for gracing us again with your many stories.
Godlike stories.
And now we know you are definitely one of us with your very
Trash taste.
bad opinions on fucking
And you know what happened to
movies.
Harambe now?
Yeah.
I learned a lot today.
all good.
So,
Hey, look at all these patrons, though.
Oh,
They
look at
support
them.
the
So
show.
amazing.
oh wow,
Yeah.
that's my favorite.
Oh,
right
that's a
there.
good one.
That's
That's
a
a
good
good
choice.
one.
That's a good choice.
Coney 2012. I'm joking. You can cut that one. You can cut that one.
We'll keep it in.
Yeah,
We'll keep it
there's a lot there.
Someone is going to change their name to that. Hey, if you'd like to support the show, then go to our Patreon, patreon.com/trashtaste. Also follow us on Twitter, send us memes on the subreddit. If you had a face, listen to us on Spotify. And of course, go check out Pete's stuff. Links in the description. Why don't I have to tell you to do that? Go do that right now.
Go check out our streams now.
Yeah,
There's
for sure.
also, you're on YouTube now. You've got more on YouTube.
I have.
So go check it out.
Thank you so much, guys.
Yeah, hell yeah.
Yeah.
All right, we'll see you guys next week.
Bye.
That was a fun one.
Hell yeah, hell yeah. Always a fun one.
Ladies and gentlemen, Trash Taste After Dark merch is officially available.
Let's go, baby. Wow, this is all embroidered, Joey.
Ooh, Joey.
Absolutely, it is. Look at these
look at
beautiful.
this.
Look at that sick design at the back. We got hoodies, we got t-shirts, we got long sleeves, we've got button-up jackets as well, all made from the best fabrics that you can imagine.
Hell yeah, baby.
I love this hoodie. It's so thick.
Yeah, nice and heavy, stretchy, breathable.
This is the very first Trash Taste drop that has been made in-house, guys. No
That's right.
collaboration, in-house.
This is the first Trash Taste merch, official line merch, and you can get it right now by going to trashtaste.shop, links in the description, but be quick because this drop is only available until December the 10th. After that, it is gone forever.
Just treat yourself for Christmas, guys.
I mean, I hate to tell you this, but you need to wake up.
I'm already awake.
You gotta wake up. Ash Ketchum from Pokemon is in a coma, and I believe that
Wait, we've
wholeheartedly.
stooped down to like creepypasta level. Welcome back to Trash Taste, the most controversial show on the internet. I'm your host Joey, and I'm joined by my skeptical co-hosts Connor and Garnt.
We're about to make it even more controversial,
Ooh,
guys.
that's right. As if we haven't said a bunch of controversial shit in our careers already, this episode is going to be full of them because we're going to be